Welcome to a journey of transformation, where we'll unlock the secrets of success, self-mastery, and unshakable confidence through the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. If you're new here, you're in for a treat because this channel is dedicated to diving deep into the teachings of one of the greatest minds in personal development history, Napoleon Hill, the legendary author of Think and Grow Rich. His words have inspired millions to achieve their dreams, overcome obstacles, and live a life of purpose. Today, we're going to explore a powerful skill that can change the way you live, how to train your mind to stay calm and composed no matter what life throws at you. Before we dive in, let's take a moment to understand who Napoleon Hill was and why his teachings are still so relevant today. Born in 1883 in a small cabin in Virginia, Hill grew up in poverty, facing challenges that would have broken most people. But even as a young boy, he had a burning desire to rise above his circumstances. At the age of 13, he began working as a reporter, interviewing successful individuals to uncover the secrets of their achievements. This early curiosity led him to a life-changing opportunity in 1908 when he met Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men in the world at the time. Carnegie challenged Hill to dedicate 20 years of his life to studying the principles of success by interviewing the most successful people of his era. People like Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Alexander Graham Bell. Hill accepted the challenge, and over the next 2 decades, he interviewed over 500 successful individuals, distilling their wisdom into a philosophy of success that has stood the test of time. In 1937, he published Think and Grow Rich, a book that has sold over 100 million copies worldwide and is still considered a cornerstone of personal development. What made Hill's work so powerful was his focus on the mind. He believed that success begins with your thoughts, that what you think you become. This idea of positive thinking wasn't just a catchy phrase for Hill, it was a way of life. He taught that by controlling your mind, you can control your destiny, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Why is positive thinking so important? Let's break it down. In a world filled with negativity, whether it's the news, social media, or the challenges of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in a cycle of doubt, fear, and frustration. But Hill understood that your mind is like a garden. What you plant in it grows. If you fill your mind with negative thoughts, you'll grow a life of struggle and limitation. But if you plant seeds of positivity, determination, and resilience, you'll cultivate a life of abundance, success, and happiness. Positive thinking isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what you can control and refusing to let external circumstances dictate your inner peace. Hill's teachings are especially relevant in today's fast-paced, chaotic world. We're constantly bombarded with distractions, criticism, and setbacks. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to let every little comment or obstacle get under your skin. But what if you could walk through life unfazed? What if you could master your reactions so that nothing and no one has the power to shake you? That's the skill we're going to dive into today, a skill that Hill himself mastered and taught to millions. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to train your mind to stay calm, to detach from external chaos, and to take control of your emotions so you can live with unshakable confidence. So let's get started. Let's begin with the foundation of this journey, mastering the nothing bothers me mindset. Life is noisy, there's no escaping that. From people's opinions to daily frustrations to unexpected setbacks, the world is relentless in throwing distractions, criticisms, and roadblocks your way. But here's a question. What if I told you that true strength doesn't come from avoiding these challenges, but from mastering the art of staying calm in the face of them? Imagine walking through a storm without flinching, without losing your composure. That's what it means to live as if nothing bothers you. The key to this mindset is learning to detach your emotions from external circumstances. When you let outside events dictate your mood, you become a puppet to forces beyond your control. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and suddenly you're fuming for hours. A coworker makes a snide comment, and you spend the rest of the day overthinking it. But when you train your mind to remain steady, you become the master of your own destiny. The world respects those who stay calm in chaos, who don't crumble under pressure. When you embody this mindset, You command authority without saying a word. You move through life with power, presence, and unshakable confidence. Let's look at history for inspiration. Think about the most influential figures. People like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or even business tycoons like Henry Ford, whom Hill interviewed. These individuals weren't the ones who reacted impulsively to every slight or criticism. Instead, they moved with a sense of control, as if they knew something the rest of the world didn't. Their strength wasn't in arguing or fighting back. It was in their ability to remain unaffected. This is the true power of staying calm. It's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about choosing when and how to let them surface. So, how do you actually practice this detachment? Let's break it down with a step-by-step approach. First, start by recognizing when you're being triggered. Maybe someone criticizes your work, or you miss an important deadline. Notice the physical signs: your heart rate speeding up, your chest tightening, your mind racing. Awareness is the first step. Instead of reacting immediately, take a deep breath and pause. This pause is critical. It gives you a moment to step back and decide how you want to respond. Next, ask yourself a simple question. Does this situation truly affect my long-term goals? Let's say a stranger on the internet leaves a nasty comment on your post. In the moment, it might feel like the end of the world. But will that comment matter in a month? A year? 5 years? Probably not. By putting the situation into perspective, you can see it for what it is: a temporary annoyance, not a life-defining event. This mental shift helps you let go of the emotional charge and respond with clarity instead of impulsivity. Another practical technique is journaling. At the end of each day, write down moments where you felt triggered or upset. Reflect on how you reacted and whether that reaction served you. For example, if you got into an argument with a friend and spent the whole day feeling angry, ask yourself, did my reaction solve anything, or did it just drain my energy? Over time, this reflection helps you identify patterns and build the habit of pausing before reacting. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to stay calm under pressure. Finally, surround yourself with reminders of your bigger purpose. Maybe you have a vision board with your goals, or a quote that inspires you, like Napoleon Hill's famous line, "What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." When you keep your focus on the bigger picture, small annoyances lose their power over you. You'll start to see them as what they are: distractions that don't deserve your energy. Let's move on to the next step: mastering emotional control. True power isn't about domination or aggression. It's about presence. A presence so strong that it doesn't need to prove itself. The strongest people, don't react impulsively. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. They pause, assess, and respond with intention. This isn't because they lack emotions. It's because they've mastered them. Emotional detachment isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about controlling them. Picture this. You're in a heated argument, and the other person is trying to provoke you. Do you let their words control your emotions, or do you smile unaffected, knowing their words hold no weight unless you give them power? Emotional detachment is about refusing to hand over your peace to external forces. It's about understanding that your inner world is sacred, untouchable. When you adopt this approach, stress decreases, clarity increases, and life's challenges become mere puzzles to solve, not battles to fight. Let's dive deeper into how you can build this skill in your daily life. One effective method is mindfulness meditation. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath, and observe your thoughts without judgment. When a thought or emotion arises, say frustration about a work project, don't push it away or get caught up in it. Simply notice it, label it, "This is frustration," and let it pass. Over time, this practice trains your mind to observe emotions without being controlled by them. Another technique is the 5-second rule. When you feel an emotional reaction bubbling up like anger or anxiety, count backward from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This simple act interrupts the automatic response and gives your rational mind a chance to take over. For example, if a colleague snaps at you during a meeting, instead of snapping back, count to 5 in your head. By the time you reach 1, you'll likely realize that reacting emotionally won't solve anything, and you can choose a more strategic response instead. Let's also talk about physical habits that support emotional control. Exercise is a fantastic way to release pent-up emotions and build resilience. When you go for a run, lift weights, or even take a brisk walk, your body releases endorphins, which naturally reduce stress and improve your mood. Additionally, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Lack of sleep makes you more reactive and less able to control your emotions. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night and establish a calming nighttime routine, like reading a book or listening to soothing music to help you wind down. Finally, let's consider the role of gratitude in emotional control. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be simple: your morning coffee, a sunny day, or a kind word from a friend. This practice shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right, helping you maintain a positive outlook even when challenges arise. Napoleon Hill often emphasized the importance of a positive mental attitude, and gratitude is a powerful way to cultivate that mindset. Now, let's explore why staying calm under pressure is a superpower. We're often conditioned to believe we must care about everything: people's opinions, their approval, their judgments. But true freedom comes when you realize that most things simply don't matter. The next time you find yourself overthinking, ask, will this matter in 5 years? If not, let it go. Most of what troubles us, criticism, temporary setbacks, fleeting embarrassments, becomes insignificant with time. Yet we allow these things to consume our thoughts, dictate our emotions, and control our actions. Staying calm doesn't mean apathy. It means prioritization. It means recognizing that your energy is finite and choosing to invest it in what truly deserves your focus. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion deserves your attention. When you stop reacting to every minor inconvenience, you reclaim control. You shift from being emotionally reactive to being strategically responsive, and that shift changes everything. How do you cultivate this level of calmness in a world that's constantly trying to pull you off balance? Let's look at some actionable habits. First, create a morning routine that sets a peaceful tone for your day. Start with 5 minutes of deep breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This simple exercise calms your nervous system and helps you start the day with a clear mind. Follow it up with a few minutes of stretching or yoga to release physical tension. Another habit is to limit your exposure to negativity. If you find that social media or the news stresses you out, set boundaries. For example, give yourself a 15-minute window to check social media, and then put your phone away. Replace that time with activities that uplift you, like reading a book on personal growth, perhaps Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or listening to a motivational podcast. By controlling what you let into your mind, you protect your inner peace. Let's also talk about the power of affirmations. Napoleon Hill was a big believer in the power of self-talk. Each day, repeat a calming affirmation to yourself such as, I am in control of my emotions. I choose peace over chaos. Say it out loud with conviction while looking in the mirror. This practice rewires your subconscious mind, reinforcing the belief that you can stay calm no matter what. Over time, you'll notice that situations that used to rattle you no longer have the same effect. Finally, practice patience in small, everyday moments. Let's say you're stuck in traffic. Instead of getting frustrated, use that time to listen to an audiobook or reflect on your goals. By training yourself to stay calm in these minor situations, you build the resilience to handle bigger challenges, like a work crisis or a personal conflict, without losing your composure. The more you practice staying calm, the more it becomes second nature. Another key to staying unshakable is learning to let go of what you can't control. So much of our suffering comes from clinging to expectations, how we think things should happen, how we believe life should unfold. When reality doesn't match our desires, we feel pain. But true mental strength lies in letting go. Picture a river. Water flows around obstacles, never resisting, never fighting. It doesn't demand that rocks move out of its way. It adapts. That's how you must approach life. Some things will happen no matter how much you stress over them. The job offer that never came, the person who walked away, the setback you didn't anticipate. You can either resist and suffer, or you can adapt and move forward. The choice is yours. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about shifting your focus to what you can control. Clinging to expectations makes you fragile, keeping you trapped in a cycle of frustration. But when you embrace the reality that some things are beyond your influence, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Let's explore some practical ways to let go of what you can't control. One powerful technique is the worry box method. Take a small box and label it your worry box. Whenever you find yourself obsessing over something you can't control, like whether you'll get a promotion, write it down on a piece of paper and put it in the box. Tell yourself, I'm letting this go for now. This physical act of releasing your worry helps you mentally detach from it. At the end of the week, open the box and reflect on how many of those worries actually came true. You'll often find that most of them didn't, which reinforces the idea that worrying is a waste of energy. Another approach is to practice acceptance through visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the situation you're struggling to let go of. For example, let's say a friend betrayed your trust, and you can't stop replaying the incident in your mind. Visualize yourself holding a balloon that represents your anger and hurt. Now picture yourself releasing the balloon, watching it float away into the sky until it disappears. As you do this, tell yourself, I release what I cannot control. I choose peace. This visualization helps you emotionally detach from the situation and move forward. Let's also consider the role of forgiveness in letting go. Holding on to grudges, whether against others or yourself, keeps you tethered to the past. If someone has wronged you, write them a letter. You don't have to send it, expressing your feelings and then forgiving them. For example, I was hurt by what you did, but I choose to forgive you for my own peace. This act of forgiveness isn't about excusing their behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of resentment. Napoleon Hill often spoke about the importance of maintaining a positive mental attitude, and forgiveness is a key part of that. Let's move on to another powerful tool: silence. In a world obsessed with noise, silence is a weapon. Most people talk to fill space, to gain validation, to prove something. But the most powerful individuals don't speak unnecessarily. They listen, they observe, they calculate. And when they finally speak, every word carries weight. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to second-guess themselves, to wonder what you're thinking. In a conversation, the one who speaks less holds more control. How can you harness the power of silence in your own life? Let's break it down. First, practice active listening. The next time you're in a conversation, focus on truly hearing what the other person is saying instead of thinking about your response. Nod, maintain eye contact, and let them speak without interrupting. When they're done, pause for a few seconds before responding. This pause not only gives you time to think, it also creates a subtle tension that makes the other person lean in, eager to hear what you have to say. Another way to use silence is in moments of conflict. Let's say someone insults you in a group setting. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, stay silent. Look them in the eye, smile slightly, and say nothing. Your silence will unnerve them. They'll start wondering if their words had any effect, and they'll likely back off. This kind of silent confidence commands respect without you having to say a word. Napoleon Hill often emphasized the importance of self-control, and silence is a perfect expression of that. You can also use silence as a tool for self-reflection. Set aside 10 minutes each day to sit in complete silence. No phone, no distractions. Use this time to reflect on your goals, your progress, and any challenges you're facing. Silence helps you tune out the noise of the world and tune into your inner wisdom. Over time, you'll find that this practice strengthens your ability to stay calm and focused, even in chaotic situations. Finally, let's talk about training your mind to stay calm no matter what. Your mind is your battlefield. The thoughts you allow in will determine whether you win or lose. The strongest individuals aren't those who never experience negative thoughts. They're the ones who refuse to be controlled by them. To build an unshakable mind, you must develop mental habits: gratitude to counter negativity, discipline to override laziness, and detachment to eliminate suffering. Let's explore some specific ways to train your mind for resilience. First, let's talk about gratitude. Each morning, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as a warm meal, a supportive friend, or a beautiful sunrise. This practice shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, helping you maintain a positive outlook even on tough days. Napoleon Hill believed that a positive mental attitude was the foundation of success, and gratitude is a key way to build that attitude. Next, let's focus on discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Start by setting small, daily challenges for yourself. For example, commit to waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Or challenge yourself to read 10 pages of a personal development book each day. These small acts of discipline build mental toughness over time, preparing you to handle bigger challenges with ease. Another powerful practice is visualization. Each night before bed, spend 5 minutes visualizing yourself as the calm, confident person you want to be. Imagine yourself in a high-pressure situation, maybe a difficult conversation with your boss, and see yourself handling it with grace and composure. Picture yourself smiling, speaking calmly, and walking away feeling in control. The more you visualize this version of yourself, the more it becomes your reality. Finally, let's talk about self-talk. The way you speak to yourself shapes your mindset. Replace negative self-talk, like "I can't handle this," or "I'm not good enough," with empowering statements. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed, tell yourself, "I am capable of handling anything that comes my way." Repeat this mantra throughout the day, especially in challenging moments. Over time, this positive self-talk will strengthen your mental resilience, helping you stay calm no matter what life throws at you. As we wrap up, let's reflect on what we've learned today. You now have the tools to train your mind to stay calm, to detach from external chaos, and to take control of your emotions. By mastering the "nothing bothers me" mindset, building emotional control, staying calm under pressure, letting go of what you can't control, harnessing the power of silence, and training your mind for resilience, you can live with unshakable confidence. Napoleon Hill once said, "You have it within you to achieve anything you desire, if you first believe it's possible." So start believing in your ability to stay calm, to master your mind, and to shape your destiny. The world will test you. People will challenge you. Life will throw obstacles in your path. But the moment you master your mind, nothing external can shake you. You'll move through life with a level of confidence, control, and power that few ever achieve. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's build a community of unshakable individuals, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill, committed to unlocking our full potential. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing, keep believing, and keep mastering your mind.